We got Fastlife Jimmy here in the buildings for Sports and Hip Hop with DJ Mad Max, Live 365, iHeartRadio, representing Minneapolis. Welcome to the show, guys. How's everything going?
Yes, sir. Appreciate you for having us, bro. Everything going good, man. We just on the grind, just out in Minneapolis right now, just working, getting ready to drop a new project, the first of the year. 2025 start off strong, and a new single coming out on the 9th, and we just dropped In My Bag, I believe, on the 18th of last month. Going
Okay,
crazy, doing great on the strings right now. You gotta go
fire.
check that out. Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube.
High Speed, too. I saw that one was another one that you dropped.
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, we dropped that video. That came out the same day. That's another
Wow.
one going crazy, and that just was really us and another artist we work with in the city named Kona Bands. Shout out Mr. Bands. And we kind of like the big three of the city right now. We're just trying to put it on our back and take it to the next level.
That's big. Why do you think it's kind of taken this long for Minneapolis to really come together and start a music scene? Because I feel as though you guys are making some movement out there right now. So what's been like kind of holding you guys back up until now?
Just really just exposure, and I feel like just lack of a sound and lack of an identity. And I feel like with us coming up now and just this new generation of music that's there, we pressed in our own wave and our own identity and our own sound and our own motion, and not we get wrapped up in a lot of that, kind of going back off what they doing now. We got our own kind of trap soul, like melodic trap type of vibe, and it's going up for us. It's working out. We kind of trying to do the same thing Milwaukee did with kind of like Chicken P and like what they over there doing.
Okay, yeah, shout out to Sickle P. He's doing his thing, and you guys are
Yes,
really going
sir.
to be going up here. So you guys are Viking fans too?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir. Yeah, yeah.
sir. Vikings, Twins,
Vikings,
Dolphins.
Twins, Wolves. Shout out the Lynx though. The Lynx definitely. You catch me courtside at the Lynx game, me and bro all the time, man, for sure. We got a heartbreaker. We got a heartbreaker in the finals, but we'll be back.
Yeah, Vikings are looking good this year too.
Oh yeah, yeah, 9-2, man. They doing their thing, man. We got Jetta, man, and then just even just having the setback with the quarterback at the beginning of the year, and now, we've just been able to plug it, and the defense is playing crazy. So I'm just trying to keep this momentum. Hopefully, we'll be hearing from 1 a.m. in Minneapolis in the bank soon.
Yeah, I'm hoping it would be nice for you guys. I think you guys deserve it. You need a Super Bowl.
Yes, yeah, yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. We ain't
Sure.
synced it. We ain't synced it. We got this nice new stadium, so man, hopefully we have a parade to follow it, man.
Yeah.
Sure.
What drew you guys? Because you guys are inspired by the West Coast sound, the melodic sound out there. What kind of drew you to the West Coast?
Really, it's just our Bay Area connection. Like me and bro, we really got tapped in with the Bay probably like really like 2018, 2019. We just started going out there on other adventures, really trying to brand it and do different things and marketing on other things. And then we ended up just really falling in love with the culture, the way that they move, and just the music. And then just growing up, even listening to Tupac, Snoop, E40,
Mac Dre.
Mac Dre, just even just coming up now, listening to people like Larry June, All Black, just having different artists is just a different sound, and there's so much of just their stuff, and it's just like a Bay Area versus everybody mentality, and we just kind of vibe with that. And even down in LA, like just the love that we always got in California, that it's kind of like a second home.
Mm. Have you guys thought about relocating out there, or you like staying out in Minneapolis where you're from?
Oh yeah, we like the taxes. We like the taxes. The weather's a little bit much, but we like the taxes and like the way the schools is and the houses. But we definitely like we currently we have a spot in Oakland, so we're really back and forth from the Bay.
Okay.
But like we're still majority based in here because we don't want to just truly abandon the city. Like not to say it like that, but we want to still have a presence in the city and be able to do certain things here, and people still know like, oh, okay, we're repping this because a lot of people still, even when we do music here, they kind of look like, oh yeah, like y'all be repping Cali a little hard, and that's why we dropped 1 a.m. in Minneapolis. That was our first single, really to show the love that we got for the city, and that like that's like no matter where we go, this is always what we gonna rep.
Yeah, for sure.
Was that kind of a flip on kind of what Drake does with 9 a.m. in Dallas, 5 a.m. in Toronto? Was that where you
Yeah,
guys got the
yeah.
idea from?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that, and then it just was a crazy studio session at 1 a.m. We had came off the plane. I think we had caught a late flight in from the Bay. We probably got in like 11:45, and instead of us just going home and doing the normal stuff we do, we was like
Straight to the studio.
straight to the studio, and it was like 1 a.m. and it just was the vibe. And shout out my boy Fuels. We heard the beat, and man, we just made it cook, and it's like one of the best videos probably we got. And everybody in the city even said just for the look and the way we made the city present itself. A lot of people were surprised that was actually Minneapolis.
Right.
Yeah, well, it's always surprising to hear from Minneapolis because like I said, we really don't hear from what you guys are doing out there. So it's good to hear that we got some movement from you too.
Oh yes, sir, yes, sir. You're gonna be hearing a lot more from us, man. We trying
A
to
lot.
become a staple, foundation in this. And like I said, we got another artist we work with. We got a nice little movement, s.m.o Fastlife, So it's gonna be a lot of us coming through. We just trying to push this and and get that to the forefront. So when people do hear Minneapolis, they think of us, and they think of Ant and Jettas, and different things that we got going on that's positive out here, not just the George Floyd aspect of it, or certain things that kind of put a black eye on the city and kind of made it look like, oh, they kind of crazy out there.
Yeah, no, it is, and that was just a terrible, tragic incident. It's gonna I hope things get better, but I'm afraid about how the election just turned out. So I think it's
Yeah.
Man,
gonna be
never
bad.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. And just like us, like that's actually like the neighborhood we grew up in. Like that's our corner store. So like we came up from that area, dealt with the cops in that area, dealt with people in that area. So it definitely was a tragic event. But I felt even with just in the neighborhood now, in the sense of like community, it's kind of gave us a sense of like a culture and like a stick togetherness. And we always gonna have stuff going on that's outside, but as long as we the people, we handle it, and like it's on us to be a better example for the neighborhood and for us to bring better stuff to the community. So we're not really just worried about elections or what's up. We worry about s.m.o. Fastlife and trying to make sure that we are proper representation of this place, and everybody want to come here and mess with us because we show love.
yes, sir.
I like that. Let's get into the story of when you guys met, because this is how this dynamic duo formed. You guys were linking up and things like that. Let's get into when you guys first met.
Yeah, like just growing up in the neighborhood, like I'm a little older than bro, so like I came up and kind of was doing my thing, kind of just really fucking with the music and doing, or my bad, messing with the music and doing certain stuff. And then he just was coming up, and he just was somebody who just reminded me of myself and had similar emotions. So we ended up linking together in a bad situation, really like
Yeah,
a real bad situation, ended up bringing us together. And we
right.
locked in, and we brought it to the top, and we've been just rocking ever since. And this is literally like 7 years strong of just every day pushing towards this. And the music came within the last year, and we've been having a lot of traction on that. So this is just an elevation because we've had businesses and different adventures that we did before we got to this adventure, that we on now.
What was the first studio session between you two like?
Oh man, it
It was
was.
crazy.
I'll let him tell about the first studio session.
First studio session, it was crazy, man. Shout out to my boy AC the chemist. You know what I'm saying? He in St. Paul. And it was just crazy that we just went in there and we actually just came up off of a loss. Like we damn near just lost almost everything. We was broke. We was very broke, and it was bad. We was like, you know what? We finna just go in here and rap. And we just started something. We just clicked it, and we liked it, and we just locked in.
Nice, just like that.
Yeah, and been the dynamic duo ever since. What would you say I want it from each one of you? What was the gateway hip? I would say the gateway album for hip hop for you guys. What was the ones that really introduced you to this genre, if you can remember?
For me, definitely Get Rich or Die Trying.
50 Cent.
Get Rich or Die Trying was that album that I knew front to back, that I knew just like every song. Like I was literally in the mirror, and it just was like, okay, this is something I want to do. And just the impact that I think when 50 hit, just seeing him go from unknown to being on every cover, every magazine, and just having the spinning chain and just the way he carried himself, it definitely was something I like. And then bringing all his homies and having the unit and doing what he did, and then seeing what he did for Chuck, and just it was nice. That's definitely my moment.
I say Lil Wayne. It'd probably be like Dedication 3. It's a mixtape.
Mixtapes.
Yeah, that's probably when I started learning it front to back, and I started really getting into the stuff and really messing with Wayne. And that's who I grew up on. I'm 28, so I'm a little younger than bro. So I feel like that's who I really locked in with and started messing with is probably Dedication 3, Wayne.
Classic mixtapes right there.
Hmm.
Definitely,
That's
definitely.
a very classic. Yeah.
Well, it's always tough because I always say the hardest part is when you're first getting started as an artist or any creative out there. What would you say was the key that really unlocked everything to you figuring out the path that you're on now, whether it's promotion, meeting the right people? What would you say was the key to get everything in motion?
Probably just
Meeting the
I,
right people for me, I feel like.
I'll say meeting the right people, and probably just naturally being good at certain stuff and not really getting the reaction that I probably expected to get in the beginning. It kind of lit a fire and made me want to go even harder, because it's like naturally, like I played sports growing up, I played basketball, I did a lot of stuff, so I've always been talented, or even just being funny or just being a popular person. So it's kind of like with the music, it was kind of like side eyes and a lot of doubt, and it's something that I believed in myself. So that's what really gave me that motivation. Like, okay, I got to show the world.
Yeah, when people doubt you and things like that, that
Yeah,
what gives you the motivation.
yeah, yeah. Just being doubted,
Yeah,
just trying to tap into
absolutely.
that Mamba mentality, and when it's against you, just find something in yourself and use that motivation to push it out to get you to where you want to be.
You got to keep going no matter what and always believe in yourself.
And you gotta do it to the full capacity because if you don't, there's no point to half footstep anything in life.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of people put their eggs in this basket, this basket, this basket, and me and bro really stopped a lot of stuff and just put all this stuff in the music. You know, we was in the streets, we was doing a lot of stuff. We had to quit all that stuff. Like we gonna take it serious and get into this music stuff. It's the only way to succeed.
Playing A, B, and C right now.
Yeah. Now, do you guys have things around the music as far as like merch? Because it looks like you guys are in the I see the hoodie that he's wearing there. You guys are in the fashion.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, yes sir.
Got
Yeah,
some merch?
we're actually working on it's like a merch line. We actually got a couple designs we're working with. We've been out in LA just in the fashion district, just picking out different fabrics and getting different designs. So coming 2025 on the project, we're actually gonna have a bunch of different rollouts for each different project we're doing. We're gonna pick a specific like merch category, whether it be hoodies, t-shirts, or whatever, and just focus on all crafted and cultivated to the project to kind of have a tailored experience what you're listening to, what you're wearing.
Have you thought about reaching out to any of the sports teams out there, even if you just start from the D League and then move your way up to get out there, maybe get some performances out there for some of the games, linking with the players, just get the word of mouth going?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's why we've been pulling up. We've been pulling up to the games and just promoting. And then we've been trying to network with a couple different DJs in the city that actually, do the music and create the soundtrack and just trying to get it. Just trying to get it. It's like we knew, so it's been like that uphill in the beginning process. But we've been getting a lot of positive feedback and reception, and people been seeing the work that we put in is making them want to come and see us. So we actually got a couple things on the work. So you might hear us on the sidelines real soon. You never know.
Oh, that's fire. Getting the custom Viking
Yes, sir.
jerseys.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We need those,
yeah,
man. We need
definitely.
those. We need the custom. We need the custom Timberwolves, custom links, whatever they want, man. Twins, everything. We go first.
Fastlife, everything.
D League. We'll pull up to Iowa, whatever.
How do you feel about the trade for the Timberwolves with Carl Anthony Towns and Randall and DiVincenzo?
I feel like for me personally, I was a Cat fan. I know he took a lot of flack for what people felt about him here, but just him being the longest tenure player and what I've seen him give to the organization, and even him just taking a back seat to Ant's development and letting Ant really get the keys and be the man. That really kind of was like, But I like Randall. I like Randall when he was in LA. DiVincenzo's always been a dog. So, we still got Ant, so it goes on. But I was actually in the process of doing a song like for the Timberwolves, like to try to get it, on into thing. And it was a song about cats. So I actually had to come and redo it. And it's like now it's like
Oh,
a New York and Minnesota kind of connection song. I'm gonna drop that maybe like the beginning of next year or probably like closer to the All-Star break, and I'm gonna go to New York and shoot the video. So Cat, if you watch it, man, pull up, man.
oh, that's
32,
fire.
we got something for you.
Still showing love to Cat. I like that.
Yes, sir.
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
for sure.
Always,
Yeah.
always, man.
Yeah,
We
because a
got the
lot of times
Bible
when,
here
when
somewhere
big
around
players
here.
leave the teams, the fans always turn on them. Especially that's how it is in New York. New York, the
Yeah.
fans always turn on them when they leave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
New York and
Nah, he was
LA, them is
Minnesota
hard
love,
more.
so
Minnesota nice, that's what they call it, man. You come here, you put it down, you'll always have a place in our hearts, man. We always show love. That's
sure.
one thing about the city is like
Shout out.
we'll show love for the right things.
That's great. That's good. That's how it should be. It uplift the spirit. A lot of negativity with New York with the teams. It's too much. They take it too
Yeah,
personal.
yeah. Yeah. Them fans, New York and Philly
Oh yeah,
fans,
yeah. The New Yorkers,
Oh,
New Yorkers ain't going.
they get intense for sure.
they do. I mean, you guys are out here. You're moving. When you guys were coming up, was there anyone that you looked up to as far as that was locally a hip hop artist out there that you guys were kind of drawing some inspiration from, being that there wasn't too many huge acts out there that you can think of?
Yeah, just coming up. Just I know when I was coming up when I was younger, like they had the Street Kings and they had a couple different people out here. Bro Pops, Book Money, he was a legend in the rap game before us. Before we came along. It was a couple people from the city. I can't really think of nobody in particular because it's always been like you might have a little run and then something might happen and then you go away. So it's never
Yeah.
nobody that's been able to really have a significant like seasons or like years. So it'd be like you'll have an artist that'll pop up and he might be popping for 6 months to a year, and then it's like so really we're fighting for the longevity and we're trying to be that for people because
Yeah.
even with us locally, we don't even have like a strong local presence. So we're trying to change that too, and not no disrespect to the people that do local rap or that's been out here over the years, but we're talking about people that like everybody in the city to come out and support and like we don't really have nobody from the South, like South Side Minneapolis, where we from like that for
Yeah.
sure. So
What
we
would you
really look up
guys
to
say
like
are
probably Chicago artists.
okay? What would you say are for you when you look at everything that's worked for you this far? What would you say you take away from the benefits of promoting through social media versus being in person? Because I feel like you guys are still organic in person as well. So what do you guys take
Yeah.
from the best of both worlds with those two platforms?
Just to being able to be in people's face every day and a constant reminder and a constant being able to just show them, your work.
You got to
And
put it in their face.
and then also the connections and just being able to get certain DMs from people and people being able to see that I probably wouldn't even notice that, what's going on versus, when you're in person, I still go to people and, my thing to talk to people when I see them is you got Spotify, you got Apple Music, you got YouTube. I want to be your favorite rapper. So I still get in people's face and talk to them and, do it the old school way. But the power of social media is just, it connects people with the touch of a finger. And instantly, like I can send out a message and send my video to 500 people versus me trying to meet 500 people on the streets.
Makes it more convenient.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
Yeah. You guys mentioned you have a project on the way that you're going to be dropping. Can you tell us some of the details of what we can expect from this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got the actual project dropping. We're gonna drop it on the first. It's called Perfect Timing, and really, it's just about the name. Really came from just being the perfect time because the city's kind of open and the city's in a position to where we don't have that voice and that name, and so we're trying to really tie everything into that, and then also just it's gonna be a lot of me and bro. Bro got some solo stuff on there. We got a couple of features from a couple other artists we worked in the city, and we trying to secure a feature from somebody from California that's pretty big out there. So we're working on a lot of things. It's gonna be a great complete project front to back. It's gonna be 15 songs, and I just know that when we put it out, it's gonna definitely put us in a space that we need to be, where people will respect Minneapolis rap and Minneapolis music for sure.
Absolutely.
Would you guys say that you're defining the Minneapolis sound by what you're doing with the trap and then the West Coast melodic that you're adding to it? Do you think that's going to be the Minneapolis sound?
Yeah, yeah, for
Yes,
sure.
you
Yeah,
got to be.
yes, yes,
There's no
definitely.
other way around it.
And I just say that because there's so many people that's do what we do or came up the same way we came, being where we from, that it's relatable music. And it's like I just feel like somebody has to be the first to kind of, even like
Push it out there.
you like what you got Keith, you got Drill, or you got Bobby, and you got the new NY, or you got Future and like the melodic. Now somebody has to be the one to take it and take the flack and all that, and just be the one to push it forward. And if you do it right, you'll reap the benefits.
Yeah.
Sure.
Who you guys want to work with? Who's your dream collabs?
Dream collab. Probably as far as like a group, I think that like I would love to see me and bro probably work with probably like if the Migos was whole for sure, but probably like Blue Bucks and like probably that's how probably like who we really want to work with like personally. But like as far as like an artist, Drake, Future, like somebody like that for sure.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, there, up there.
But as a group, like I would like to see like the fire other groups in the game, like the few duos, like we all come together and do something and like show them that it's still fire duos out here.
Yeah. I remember I was talking with one of the artists that's been on my show recently. We're talking about how it's kind of like rare to see hip hop groups and duos nowadays. Do you think it's more
Yeah.
out there and we just don't realize it?
No, I don't think it's really common as it was, and even like
Yeah.
we kind of like have a third. Like even when I told you about the other artist that's not here right now, Kona Bands. So even when people see us, like that kind of dynamics shocks them because they're not used to seeing it. Like, oh, it's three of y'all, and y'all got three different sounds, and
Yeah,
but
it's
it's
like an
like
eye opener kind of.
but it's cool to me because it's just that dynamic of kind of like how Wu Tang made you feel, or certain classic groups gave you that you can kind of pick like Saint Lunatics or whoever you are, G Unit, whatever you like. It's like you have a preference versus it's like one artist and it's like I really don't like him. Like it might be somebody that just like bro and don't like me, and that's fine. But we still get the audience and we're still able to push and it's like still able to grow in that space. So I like that.
Three
When did you
different
guys start
versions.
going to all these industry events? What was that first big event? Because you're linking with guys like El Nice, so we can get into you meeting him. So, what were some of those first events to where you guys were going and linking with important people in the
Uh,
industry?
really, it was last year when we started. When we went to Rolling Loud in California, we went to Rolling Loud, and then I think from that we went to a pop up. Desto Dub had an awful lot of concert pop up on Melrose. It turned to be like a big block party, and I think we seen like the Sting Team, Compton Menace, Peasy and the Ghetto Boys, the Shifters, and we really just started introducing ourselves and really making our name. And once you kind of see people in places, we might go to Houston and see these same people and they remember us because we got a good face and we do good business and we carry ourselves a certain way. And it ain't too many people from Minnesota, so they like, hey, there's a Minnesota dude, okay. So really, that was probably like the first like Rolling Loud, and then from there we did like just going to like whatever event, no matter whether it be Complex Con or it'd be like even like a cannabis convention, no matter what it is. Like, just if you got an event, we just want to be there with our brand and pushing the events, pushing the brand space, and we'll go to anywhere. We done been to events in Houston, Atlanta, Vegas, Los Angeles, Arizona. So it don't matter. Like
Kentucky.
Yeah.
Wow. You guys have been all over.
Yeah. One thing about us, we roll runners, we travel. So like a lot of people will know us just from like, we'll pull up. So even just with a lot of the videos and projects that we're doing next year, like a lot of the videos and the scenes that we shot, like a lot of people are gonna see us on the road. Like we really just been showing the home base to really just start it out. But like we got a lot of stuff that we shot other places that they're gonna see like, okay, yeah, they really be outside.
Oh, you're ready, especially when you guys get to New York too. That's gonna be big.
Oh yes, sir. Yeah. That's
super
yeah,
big.
we waiting on that. We waiting on that. We definitely gotta pull up.
Yeah. How did you get connected with All Nice? Was it one of his events, Pull Up and Play?
Oh yeah, we did the pull up and play when they touched down in Minneapolis. But shout out to my boy BMG Click. He had introduced us and put us together, and ever since then, like we just been locked in and talking, and like he just really like believed in us. And I think even at the pull up and play event, he had played my song like 3-4 times in a row and was really messing with it. Well, me and Bro song In My Bag. And he really just was messing with it. And he came up and had me and Bro performing, and then we kind of just stayed in contact from there. And he's just been throwing us plays and just helping us and guiding us in the back, and just appreciate all the support and just the help that he does, because like we've been in the game for like a year, so a lot of people have been kind of making little promises or kind of pointing us in directions and kind of giving us dead ends. He's one of the few people that came through from the beginning and been genuine and just showing us love and pointing us in directions, even to get us in rooms like this.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. Al Nice is one of the few guys in the industry that you can rely on, and he's truthful to what he says. A lot of the other people, it's a bunch of bullshit, and you kind of just have to keep going on and just keep working, because you can't let with people. You got to take it at face value with everything, pretty much. But Al Nice is not one of those guys. He's gonna get you to that place that he sees you fit.
No, facts.
Real potential in us and shit.
And I definitely we appreciate that, because it's rare, that people actually, be who they say they are and show up there from day one, and day 10 or day 20, day 100, day 50, whatever, they're the same way. So
yeah. Biggest achievement for this year, for 2024, what was it for you guys?
Probably with me, I probably would say the biggest achievement just is finally probably getting the recognition from the city as being looked at as probably like the next potential artist to go, or the potential artist to go. Just getting established and really getting that home base and really starting to see like
that name out here.
The city kind of like, not say that they wasn't really feeling it, or like, but people were kind of just, oh, we see what y'all doing, to go into like, oh no, we see what y'all doing, like give us more, like keep, like just the positive messages.
Yeah. What's going to be that one that you aim for? Let's say the first or second, both first 2 quarters of 2025. What's that accomplishment that you guys want to get down next?
Probably the first one, a major headliner show for sure. We want to headline a show, no matter if it's here, New Mexico, wherever. We don't care. we just want to headline a show. Probably that'll be the top priority. And probably the second one, I would say, with the merch collab, like really just establish the merch lane, establish the clothing and the branding, and come probably like hand in hand to become more of an established entity in that space too.
That's big. Yeah, get the word out there. Kind of like Woo Wear. You got to get the clothing going.
Yeah, no, for real. Yeah. Shoes, everything.
Yeah, sneakers.
Yeah, everything.
Got to have the Viking colors, the Timberwolf colors.
Definitely.
Fire.
We need some twins in there too, man. They've been down a little bit, but we still rep the twins too, man. They champions too, man.
No, absolutely. You got to stick with the home teams.
Facts.
Yeah. I mean, you got a lot on the way here. How are you guys moving forward with the label? Are you guys looking for a partnership? Or are you kind of just taking it one step at a time? Do you want to link with a major?
Whatever the right situation is, like if it's a major by just signing on, if it's distribution or like more of a partnership, just whatever the relationship, that's going to be most beneficial to where we can put out the highest quality music, and we can get into every space that we need to get into. So
makes sense.
So whatever makes sense on that end, whether they want to come and, put something together that we do with them, or they want to just, distribution and partner up, like we're pretty much open and willing. We just want to make sure that it's a right fit for me and Bro, because whatever we do it together. So
When we look at everything too, do you guys have any other interests outside of just the merch game? Do you kind of want to get into even movies and different things like that?
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. Like, cause
podcasting,
podcasting, and then like
Okay.
we like really like funny people. So like
Tubi movies,
so
all
like
type of
we
stuff.
want to get like probably to show more of our personality too, because I feel like that's one thing like even what people don't understand is probably even how Minnesota people are, and it's a lot of like just stuff that's unique to where we're from. Kind of like if you have like Chicago people be like or Detroit people be like, it's Minnesota people be like too. So getting into that space and just really showing the city and showing some of the food and the culture and showing off some of the other things that we have to offer because it's all really hand in hand. Like the music is really just the
Stepping stone.
not even just a stepping stone, but just the narration of whatever you're doing. You got to hear it. It's a soundtrack. That's what I'm thinking of. It's a soundtrack of your life. So so many other things that go hand in hand with that. So we want to showcase pretty much all of those, and like just acting, fashion, whatever modeling, whatever it could be. Whatever we can get into podcasting. We ready.
Got to stay ready. How about any upcoming performances? You mentioned you want that big headliner that'll be on the way soon, but do you have any other performances besides that on the way before
We're in
that happens
Miami.
right now that you know of or planning?
Yeah, like I said, we in Miami right after New Year's.
Okay.
Shout out to L Nice. We in Miami coming up performing.
So yeah, we're gonna get the details and announce that and put the flyer up probably here real soon within the next couple of weeks. But I believe it's January 2nd to start the year off. We got something working on that, and then we trying to get on a couple shows end of the year. We trying to do like a New Year's show out here. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we're gonna get that done. And but for sure, January 2nd, Miami, we out there. So everybody in Miami tap in with s.m.o Fastlife. You feel me? I'm Fastlife Jimmy. You feel me? It's my boy s.m.o Jack. Follow me on Instagram at Jimmy Hendrix, JYMMIHENDRI, two X's.
s.m.o Jack __.
You guys got it
Sure.
right there.
Yes, sir. You can find all the content on YouTube at SMOX Fast Life, and then search us on Apple Music, Spotify, wherever y'all consume y'all music at. Appreciate you, Mad Max. It's been a pleasure bringing us out. Bringing Minneapolis in the building. We look forward to this. Hopefully, we can do this again. We a lot bigger.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate you guys. Shout out to what you're doing for Minneapolis and for hip hop and connected in California as well. I think that's interesting being out there with the Oakland connection. Big hip
Yes,
hop
sir.
history there. We know with Digital Underground, Tupac. So it's
Yes,
interesting to
sir.
see you guys link up out there too.
Yes,
Definitely,
sir.
definitely. Shout out to the Bay, man. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
area. We love that 510, baby.
Hey,
Shout out to
here's a
Minneapolis.
good one. Have you guys heard the new Kendrick album?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Oh yeah,
sir.
yeah, he
How you feeling
snapped.
Yeah,
about it?
Kendrick.
And he shot out love to the Bay. He brought a lot of artists out there.
He
Yeah,
did.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Kendrick definitely
he did his thing.
everything. He been doing his thing. Definitely bringing the West back and putting the West back where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like a lot of people be forgetting about Northern California.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And they be just thinking, LA, 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 that's 6 hours away, but it's a whole different culture and a whole different scenery out there. We was in
definitely.
LA for like 5 years before we even got to the Bay. So, a little bit of both of the best worlds. And Kendrick definitely did his thing on that track for sure.
yeah. That's probably end up gonna be the album of the year. Probably. I think that's
Yeah,
already kind of been determined.
Probably.
he gonna clean up. He gonna clean up award season.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. For sure.
Yes,
For
sir.
sure.
Well, guys, congratulations on everything that you've achieved this far. Keep working, keep going. I'm looking forward to this upcoming single and the project that you got on the way. I'm gonna be tapping in with you guys.
Yes, sir. We're gonna make sure we shoot it over as soon as it drops.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys, man. Enjoy your Thanksgiving and everything, the holidays, and until the next time, we'll be in touch. All right.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
All right, guys.
Sure.
Peace out. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Yeah. So.